feasibility of your event. So this process, concept needs to be tested to see if it will work. So that's you working through all the connotations of your event delivery to making sure that it is actually feasible to deliver. It's responsibility for objectives, resources required. So you'll be looking at human resources, so your volunteers maybe in your case. Facilities, marketing, equipment. So not only sourcing those materials, but also budgeting for them as well. Nature and timing of partnerships. Identify any further potential partners that you may need. Creating a draft budget will be very important, so sources of income and expenditure. In most cases with small scale football events, it's very much a beg, steal and borrow culture. So if you can manage to source a facility for free, so whether that be a school facility or a parks facility, then you've done extremely well. Cost versus benefits analysis. So the benefits could relate to the social, economic and sports development impacts. And the economic analysis, the most important even within your club. So it could be down to the money retrieved. And ensure alignment of short and long-term objectives. Because we've talked about this with regards to mass events, and the short-term objectives could be an huge increase in participation. But the long-term objectives, well, what is it? Maybe you're training up volunteers on the day to be able to deliver that event shortly after, so that it's a sustained activity. Or maybe you're just delivering a one-off event, but how will that impact on the longer-term objectives for participation? An examination of all the appropriate items required for an event. That's what a feasibility study is. Demonstrates what? It's a clear marketing screen. So how the target audience is likely to respond to the event concept. Environmental scan, competition analysis and market research. The operations screen. It's skills and resources needed to stage the event, including the staffing. And the financial screen. So sufficient financial commitment, sponsorship and revenue. And this includes cash flow and a contingency. So that cash that you've got in hand, but also that cash that you've got to one side in case of an emergency. Okay, I've covered a lot of ground once again there. So now it's over to you with a tutorial task. I want you to spend the next 30 minutes working in your groups, your delivery groups. So how far are you and your group along with the event planning journey? So thinking back to that first flow diagram that we shared at the start of this session, and at which stage would you say you are on that process? If you haven't yet drawn together a plan using Goldblatt's 5W approach, I want you to do that now, all right? And look back over the previous slides to support you in maybe adding a little bit more information within each of the W's. Okay, so if you're yet to do that, could you do that within the next 30 minutes? If you have followed previous sessions, you should already have completed that. So what I'd like you to do is identify which stage you are in that process of the planning process. So whether you are at the feasibility, so you may need to undertake a SWOT analysis or a pest analysis. You may be at the planning stage, whereby you may need to schedule in meetings or draw up roles and responsibilities for each other with regards to who's going to be doing what. Or you may be looking at what you're actually going to be delivering on the day. So where events are going to take place. So you may decide to draw up a site plan. If you have completed this stage and are in the process of planning the event, use the time to prepare adequately and share tasks throughout the group. So add any amends to the plan you have already uploaded to the discussion board, please. So in your first session, I asked you to upload to Blackboard on the discussion board. Now what I want you to do is make any further amends that you feel necessary and add it to the discussion board again. Alright, so I look forward to seeing that. Hope you've enjoyed today's session, and I'll see you next time.